90 pounds in 90 days starts now.
All right, the topic today is addictions. Somehow we get kind of locked in to certain foods or certain groups, and we think that we can only have those things. I'm looking at, I used to do a lot of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I mean, it's just something about, I think I still crave peanut butter by itself. The thing I crave right now is Reese cups. I mean, if I had a Reese cup right now, it takes me to another place, far, far away. And then it's like in my whole world, the lights get darker, the spotlight is on that cup. And I'm looking at that cup and I'm going, oh wow, where have you been all my life? But when I eat it, I don't just eat the cup. I eat on the outside first. I got nibble, like nibble, 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 nibble. Then I nibble off the top, and then I kind of put it in my mouth and just start chewing. And I chew and I chew and I chew and I chew and I chew. You have any particular food that you do like that too?
I think everybody has those foods.
Well, tell me about one particular food that really gets you. What do you?
I love cookies. That's why I do bake, on the side. And my mom and I will be actually starting to cook and bake cookies pretty soon here, and desserts. But again, it's not that we're promoting that. It's that people are gonna have things every once in a while,
exactly.
And it's okay.
And some people are not trying to lose weight. They may be trying to gain weight. But what we're gonna do also is have some healthy meals. Be health watch meals, and it's going to be set up that if you want breakfast, lunch, and dinner, it'll be set up that we have it all set up, more of a meal that they can, or if you just want lunch, or if you just want dinner, or if you just want breakfast.
Once we get our business license and everything like that.
Once we get all that stuff together.
We're going to definitely probably do some pre-meals, kind of like Healthy Coast meals, kind of like that type of thing eventually.
So what is your favorite cookie? What would be in a favorite cookie?
I would say chocolate chip is always going to be my favorite, but I love it with M&M's in it.
M&M's, chocolate chips, and then what kind of actual cookie itself?
Oreo cookies is my cookie that I don't even eat because
no. I mean like with the same one we were just talking about. You said you like the M&M's, you like the chocolate in a particular cookie. But what kind of cookie is it? Is it a regular cookie or is it more like an oatmeal cookie? What kind of cookie is it?
Oh, it's a regular chocolate chip cookie.
It's a regular chocolate chip cookie.
That has like M&M's in it.
Okay, so how often can you stay away from cookies, or how often do you give in to those cookies? Now, I know you're on your program right now and trying to lose weight, but I'm sure every now and then, even if you can't get a whole cookie, you decide you might get a piece of a cookie. What do?
I really hadn't had one since January 3rd.
But
what I do have is an ice dream from Chick-fil-A because it's only 24 carbs. And believe it or not, Chick-fil-A, you can literally have the kids meal, and I think it's like 50 carbs. And if you have 100 carbs in a day, sometimes you can actually do that.
So in other words, if you just got to have something that you like and kind of kill a little bit of the bland, you might do something like that.
Yeah, kids meal is very, very good because it's the proportions is perfect. But the French fries, believe it or not, are worse than the mac and cheese. There's much more carbs in the French fries than it is the mac and cheese.
Okay, all right. Well, we're talking about addictions, and even the question is, what makes us addicted? You were telling me about, I don't know if it was a television show or a person or somebody that had some issues with a boyfriend or fiance or something, and what was that you were telling me about? They had a big thing of what was it? A bed full of ice cream or cookies, or what was it?
Oh, okay. In the movie Legally Blonde.
Oh, is that what it was?
I believe her name was Elle Woods. She got up in the breakup with her boyfriend, and so she just kind of ate, her troubles away, or she tried to, but it still didn't fix anything.
Right. And if you're not careful, something with just a little bit of a habit kind of turns into a bad habit. A bad habit is something you can't go without. Felicia, do you remember that I had a time that I had to go to bed every night and have some ice cream? I went weeks, maybe months, And she looking at me funny like, man, that was years you did that. And what happens is, evidently, it satisfies something inside of our heads. Because sometimes we feel like we need to escape life. And so that's what addictions does. Addictions, we use those to escape, whether it's drugs or cigarettes or whatever thing that's going on in your life. And when you do that, then that basically means you're not in control. It's like you've lost, I want to say dominion. As a believer in Christ, I want to say you have lost dominion. And in losing dominion, you don't have the strength to be able to do stuff cold turkey. And so that when you first started and just stopped eating everything, how did you feel? Did you have withdrawals when you first started this in the very beginning? How'd you feel?
It was a couple, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Because I was kind of ready for a change and just tired of doing the same thing over and over again. But yeah, eventually I started to add more things to my diet, but try to keep it within that 100 carbs, and that's what I try. And if I want something sweet, I will get something sweet, but I try to be real cautious about what it is I'm eating and make sure it fits kind of in my carbs. Okay. That's what I try to do.
And I did some studies on it, and it's like your brain reacts when it comes to different foods the same way you react if you had some type of drug, a strong drug, like cocaine or something. And I can't remember the exact word. I don't know if the word is endorphins or it'll come back to me. But what happens is it kicks in and you get a high off of it. And your body, when you're going through stuff, you say, okay, I'm going through this, I'm gonna need that high again. If you're frustrated and all of a sudden you say, hey, I need that high again. And so what I'm trying to do is come up with an explanation for why did I get so heavy? Why was that so big? A lot of times that rejection, people just being in and out of your life, and sometimes in your family, you got different people in your family that kind of treat you funny sometimes, and for some reason it seems like that's in a lot of families.
And sometimes it's comfort in food, because even though we talk about the bad side of food, there's also comfort when you sit down for a nice meal with your family, but it's just everything has to be done in moderation. Like, our family should know, hey, this is a lifestyle for us, and sometimes we're gonna have this or have that, but for the most part, which is the 80-20 rule is a really good rule to kind of live by.
80-20, explain that a little bit more.
It's like 80% of the time you live the lifestyle of trying to eat as healthy as you can, but then that 20% you give yourself a little bit of room.
Right. And I think the word I was searching for earlier was dopamine. And dopamine, it was triggered, and sometimes it shows how much reaction with cocaine is, and how much reaction that you have with a donut or whatever. And then, some people have an issue with alcohol as well. And they say that if you have to have alcohol, what normally you do is, if you are drinking alcohol early in the morning, then that usually is a sign that you're an alcoholic. So what would you say would be a foodaholic? What would you say? What would that person be? Would that a person that eats junk all day long, or what?
Yeah, somebody that used to be me, because in the morning times I would have to wake up and have something sweet before I would even eat anything.
Yeah, that sugar.
If I had to choose between a hamburger or an ice cream sundae, I would choose the ice cream sundae every time, because that's what I was addicted to. Now I actually go, let me eat some food, before I even think about eating dessert. But that dessert is like a treat. It's not a meal. And I used to make desserts a meal.
That's right. I think we all do a little something.
Anything over 800 calories is a meal.
Oh,
think of about it like that. And so it's easy to do. When you go to Dairy Queen, for just a small ice cream, it's 500 calories or more.
Yes. Well, with me, one of my biggest issues when I was younger, I'm going to have to say when I'm younger, because I'm much more mature now, I was supposed to be, they started giving you bags of chips like this. Then they started making the bags of chips bigger and bigger and bigger. I remember one day I was going through a big bag of chips, and by the end of that night, all those chips was gone. and it's in my mind are going like, how is it possible? Well, a lot of times and two, let's say another thing too, what happens, bigger your stomach is, there's more the chemicals that's that causes you to eat more and more. Mm-hmm. How in the world can we come against it? Well, we come against it by eating the good foods. It's like, don't get hungry. You feed yourself all day long with good things, and then what happens, you want and you make that a habit with the good things.